Want to learn more about your true nature? Check out the many interviews and short videos produced by our friends at ispirit.us. Like their page at facebook.com/ispirit.dotus and browse through their many posts and be inspired by the wonderful and positive messages about life that they share with their community. If you would like to study the works of Spiritism and delve deeper into this philosophy that will be guaranteed to enrich your life by teaching you about the greater life, check out ediseiofamerica.com. At ediseiofamerica.com you can find all of the seminal works of Spiritism written and compiled by Allan Kardec, translated from its original French to English, as well as other Spiritist works that serve to add to the immaterial treasure that is the Spiritist philosophy and doctrine. As one of our subscribers and followers, be sure to use promo code ispirit_love to get 10% off from your next purchase and continue to support this beautiful work of dissemination. ispirit_love to get 10% off from your next purchase. Thank you.
Item 51 says, it would be completely wrong to see spirits as merely fortune tellers, helpers. Serious spirits refuse to concern themselves with useless matters. Frivolous, mocking spirits concern themselves with anything and everything, responding to anything and everything, and predict whatever people want them to predict with no concern at all for the truth. They feel a mischievous sense of pleasure in deceiving gullible persons. That is why it is essential to be perfectly certain about the nature of the questions that can be put to spirits. No self-respecting spirit of a higher order is going to come and give us an exact date of when things are going to happen. No self-respecting spirit is going to concern himself with providing the winning numbers to the lottery or anything like this. This is not going to happen. Why would a spirit that's liberated from the troubles of earth, who has progressed to a level to where they are doing the type of work that helps humanity progress and advance, why would they come back here to manifest themselves in order to help someone who is wanting more money in their life, someone who is wanting to know if they're going to get married, someone who's wanting to know what their love life is going to be like? This is nonsense. The spirits who are going to concern themselves with this are going to be spirits that are willing to play a joke on others, much like in life. So we have to always keep this in mind and remember that if we want serious things, we cannot expect exact answers. We're always going to be given a more or less nebulous response that's going to cause us to have to research further, because they expect us to put in the necessary effort, to meet halfway. They're not going to meet us all the way. They're going to give us a lead, much like a detective works off lead. What is going on? We, as incarnated detectives, we will work with these leads to achieve the necessary result to resolve our spiritual cases, so to speak. Item 52 says, apart from what can be of help to moral progress, there is nothing but uncertainty contained in revelations that may be received from spirits. Of course, because everything is relative. Everything is relative. Anything can happen to intervene and change whatever someone may have predicted. Nothing is set in stone. The only fatality that I could say with full certainty and with all humility and respect is that we are going to progress. That is it. Everyone is going to progress and evolve and become better. That is a certainty. That is the law of progress. It is one of the universal laws that is, as it is taught to us in the Spirit's book and via the Spiritist doctrine. That is a certainty. Everything else is relative. How we get to that progress, to that relative perfection, depends on us. Which paths we take, which routes we take. So we cannot depend on exact predictions because things are ever changing. There are too many variables in life. The first regrettable, and continuing here with item 52, the first regrettable consequence for persons who divert their faculty from its providential aim is to be fooled by the deceitful spirits that swarm around people. The second is to fall under the control of these same spirits who can, by the way of false advice, lead them to real material misfortune. The third is to lose after death the benefit of having known Spiritism. So how many of us lose our way or take a wrong turn in our paths because someone may have intuited us or inspired us to do something wrong. Not necessarily a discarnated spirit that has inspired us through thought and ideas, but maybe a spirit of a fellow brother or sister that is incarnated who lives among us in our community or in our lives and our family. And because they are in tune with the wrong frequencies, they received this inspiration and they gave you that advice, and you took that advice as a serious advice because you consider that person as someone special in your life. And unfortunately, that advice resulted in something wrong. This happens a lot to many of us. So you have to always, consider the other paths and reflect upon on everything that everyone tells us. No matter how intelligent, how experienced that person is, it doesn't mean that we have to take their advice to heart and do exactly as they say. The only advice that we need to do exactly as it is stated, as it has been exemplified, is Jesus Christ's advice and his living example. That is it. Everyone else is open to. And yes, the third is to lose after death the benefit of having known Spiritism. Yes, it is a benefit. It is a blessing for us to know about Spiritism. So I encourage you, as always, buy the book, read the books, study it, go to the Spiritist centers, do something for yourself, for your soul, nourish it with that spiritual bread that we are often so hungry for. And to finish this small section, item 53 says, thus, manifestations are not meant to serve material interests. Their usefulness lies in their moral consequences. However, if they led to no further results than to make known a new law of nature and to physically demonstrate the existence of the soul and its survival after death, they would accomplish much because it would open up a broad new way to philosophy. So there you have it. It serves not only material interests, but their usefulness lies in their moral consequences, because we see what happens to those who erred in life, who didn't take advantage of the opportunity of another life to do what was right, to do what was expected of them, to achieve their individual goals and their individual missions. And then when they discarnate, and they come back in these communications, in these spirit communications, and they tell us how much they regret not having done what they were supposed to have done, and they cannot wait to come back to try and correct their ways. But then unfortunately, as we immerse ourselves back into this deep ocean of life on earth, we tend to forget all those things that we regretted not having done, and perhaps we have another existence ahead of us where we do the same thing over and over again until something awakens in us and we progress. So this can happen. That's why it's important that we take heed and pay attention to the advice that is contained in Spiritism, so that we can continue in our moral progress, do what is right, so that when we come back, perhaps in one of these spirit communications, in one of these meetings to help some other brothers who are incarnated, we will not come back and communicate to them in angst, in grief, in sorrow, in regret, but rather happy for having fulfilled our duty and our missions here on earth. So that is my advice to all of us, including me, more importantly, and primarily me, because I'm the one who studies this, is for us to do our duty, to help our brothers, to do our charity, to be charitable, to be indulgent, benevolent, because without charity there is no salvation. That is one of the axioms of Spiritism. So let's always remember that. So thank you so much for this brief video of this small section, once again entitled The Providential Aim of Spirit Manifestations. And as always, may God bless each and every one of you, and may Jesus guide you all in your footsteps. Thank you so much, and have a blessed one.